so I'm Logan, and this is our Deadmare devlog. So what we're going to do is just go around the table and basically ask what we've all been getting up to in the last couple of weeks. So do you want to start off, Ben?
I will start us off. I will just say, you may notice this, Jack is here. He's over there.
He's looking a bit ill.
He's over there, but we've had to replace him with
our boy. COVID, innit? COVID safety.
We'll call him Jims. So 2 weeks ago, you discussed about what you want. James, what are you doing? 2 weeks ago, I talked about how you wanted some more stuff into it, like the ladders, push ball stuff. So in those 2 weeks, the ladders have been done. They're a little bit temperamental in the sense that rather than you press it and you actually just move, and then when you don't press anything, you're not moving. It's just naturally moving away as it does. So that needs a little bit of refinement, but that can be done at a later date. The push mechanic, now that was working yesterday, except on the last tutorial, everything just killed it, just didn't work. So it wasn't, basically you press F to interact with it, you just move it along on its own, you just basically just guide it wherever you wanted it to go. But how that works is there's a bunch of transforms on an object. So let's say if you're not interacting or you're not on a transform, it'll say, oh, failed to do whatsoever because it's not got, not interacted on the transform. You can't interact with it if you're standing so close to a wall because there's no space to do the animation, or if on a slanted floor. It's also got its animations, so depending on the height of the object, it'll go from a low push to a high push. But essentially, that needs a lot of it just needs to have a looking over just to see what it needs doing. Because I managed to get the transforms working now, so that rather than it just spawning you to just the one transform, it's going to the actual however many there are on the thing. So that's there essentially. There is an objective marker now, so it looks like a bunch of fireflies are flying around. That just needs a colour change and a little bit of playing around with, and then that's ready for the objective. And then also there's the floating text thing that I was on about, so depending on where the player's moving in the world, there's a piece of text that's there. It will follow the direction of rotation of the player. So if you go under it, you can see it from up there if you're about, but if you like, so if you're here, the text will follow you just back there. So yeah, it's essentially just a bit of refinement, but at this stage now, it's, as I said, moving on to the weapon system now, because Deadline's starting to come down on it, and ideally we need to start forward with actually getting past essentially the tutorial level and actually putting the core gameplay elements into it.
The main tings. Lovely. How long do you think you'll take to slap up the main tings, as we say?
I reckon by at least 2 weeks before the deadline's due, it should be at a stage where final refinements, unless somebody suggests they want more stuff in there.
Oh, he's already got more stuff he wanted to do.
Yeah, we've got loads.
Yeah, that'll be put in.
There's a list of stuff that he wants you to do.
Yeah,
when are you doing the weapons?
Yeah, when he... Good question, James. Good question, Jack.
It'll be in the next 2 weeks, whatever. So I know you've been modelling your weapons, Jack.
I have.
Good job, Jack.
You have. So we'll hopefully start to get to see that in the next few weeks.
Right.
That's the programming.
I think it's your turn, Jack.
Jack,
What's your take?
Anyway, last week I unwrapped the M16, so that's all unwrapped now. So I'll be doing what I spoke about before, where you'll be having 4 different models for one texture. So this week I'll probably be focusing on the high poly for the M16 and then sculpting it in ZBrush, just like what I did with the Uzi SMG. So yeah.
Cool. How long do you think it's going to take for you to do all that stuff?
And I still need to make the high poly for the M16, then export it from 3ds Max, and then sculpt in a way.
Oh,
it is
fair.
And bake it in a substance painter.
So is sculpting just going to be like scratches and stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. Looking raw good. Thank you for looking at me, Jack.
No problem.
So, doing the character, the head's completely done now. done the hair, just adding some final things like wrinkles and stuff. Then after that, start slapping up some clothes, which is going to be quite difficult, as I haven't really done good clothes before. So you can help me with that.
Yeah.
Well, you did do the math, which was quite good.
Yeah.
So
Does the maths need changing?
it would definitely need changing. I can adjust it, to be fair. So don't worry about it, Jack. Okay.
No problem.
Cool. So yeah, hair done. It looks a bit Tony Starky, which is quite nice. Because it's meant to be like 50-30Z. So I've made, because Anthony Starky's like 50-30Z. So he's got a bit of a bald patch. Love it. You'll see it on the Instagram soon.
Follow the Instagram.
Yes, hasn't uploaded in a bit, but you'll be soon.
Yeah.
Raw.
Raw.
Right, I think you next.
Right then,
Wait
so...
one sec. James, look. Don't look, don't look.
James.
Yeah, James, can you look at me?
Don't do it.
So then, what I've been basically working on is all the models that Ellis and Kieran have been sending me. I've been putting them into the engine. I've started building up the city level. That's about 80% done now. I just need to add some like a few more buildings in, get a few little bits done, and that's ready to go for a first pass. I've started adding foliage into there as well, so there's like grass parts like growing from the tarmac, making it look really nice. I'll show the bit of the gameplay at the back, so that'll be you can have a little look at that. So yeah, so it's about 80% done. I still need to work on the house map, so if I can get the models done ASAP, and then I can slap them in, get them all working, and that's that part done.
Cool.
Right. But yeah, we're ahead of schedule, let's say. Like we're doing fine. Like everything's ready to go. I just need the textures doing for the houses once you've done everything else, and I just need the house basically wrapping up now in like either next week or the week after. I need everything done for it, and then we can start texturing that as well.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll ask on behalf of Jackie Boy here. When are you going to put in the guns in the game? When are you going to slap them in? Are you going to you going to scatter them around, or?
So I'm not gonna touch the guns for now. What I'm waiting for you to finish the weapon system, and then we can migrate everything over then, because there's a lot of code that you need to put into my version of the game as well. So once we got all that, then we can look at putting the weapons in again, it all working. Alright.
Do you like my guns?
I do like your guns, Jack.
They are very good
But,
guns.
Yeah, they are very nice guns.
Good job, Jack.
Thank you.
Good job.
As for anything else, like I haven't worked on another map either. I know in the last video I said I was thinking about working on it, but for now, I just really want to get these two maps looking really good. The models are looking great already, as you can see. So yeah, it's all coming along nicely.
Okay, so
Talk a bit loud because he's a bit hard of hearing.
Yeah,
in your
Jack can't hear.
He's a bit ill.
so I made the models that Logan asked for all the buildings that display in the background. If you want to do like a bird's eye view.
That's from drawing the video, not before or after. That's a good idea.
Right now I'm working on the Balkan buildings, which is quite interesting because I need to do an interior and an exterior, as well as side pieces, which like all snap together, and they all have like different types of like broken pieces, which is, you know, again, it's kind of cool, but also a hassle. After that, after I make the broken buildings, I'm going to be making the trim sheets and the tiling materials, which I'll be making in Substance Designer and ZBrush. And yeah.
Cool.
What it shoots
Cool.
this.
Raw. Bussing.
Go on,
What's that?
Kieran.
Pog that is.
Round us off, Kieran.
Round us off, Key,
That's good.
with your.
So I've been bashing out a bunch of the stuff for the bathroom. Made the sink. Bathtub I still need to work on it. It's just really like the legs, which from the reference picture you gave me, it's like it's more of like a sculpt, and then I'm thinking of going for a different design for the actual taps, because I feel like we're trying to like optimize the actual polycam.
Yeah.
So I'll go for a different design. Because the one that's in the picture, it's quite grand.
Well,
so
Is in the house, is there going to be a kitchen?
well, I presume so.
So, well, There is going to be a kitchen, but you won't be able to access it, so you
Okay.
won't see it. So there's
Oh,
no-
oh, okay. I was going to say, if there was one, you could have used the exact same model for both of them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've already made like taps and sort of like just a faucet or whatever, like for the sink.
Yep.
And pipes and that are all like done. But that the telephone that I showed you, I just need to rework that a bit and optimize the poly count a lot more for that, which I've been working on a bit more for that. And then I've made like a toilet roll holder and then stuff for a towel, and I'm just gonna bash out stuff for the other rooms as well. And get that done. Like
when you're modelling these pieces, keep in mind that if you're doing something small, make it as little as polys as possible, because that's the problem I see you having when you're making. Because how you made this telephone originally is you made the circle, then holes in it, which made ridiculously too many amount of polys for a small little item. So just think that needs to be like your main thing.
Yes.
lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always things to learn.
I'll rework that. Well, reworking that now, and then have that as like a texture. That'll be all good.
Right.
Yeah, and I'll get that all sorted as soon as possible.
Is anyone having any issues that they need to discuss, or?
Not really. Not particularly. So it should be his sinuses or whatever wrong with him.
No.
His lymph nodes.
One of the issues I'm having in the engine at the moment is making sure that it's like optimised. So like the house map isn't such a big deal because it is a small map, but the larger map, because there's so many assets in there at one time, it is lagging a bit. So I did try and put ray tracing in there.
Oh God.
But
Blimmin' heck.
and got me. So I took the actual decision now to not include ray tracing because it's tanking the performance ridiculously. So that's not happening until we can find a way to make everything optimised. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Is it not optimised even with like all the loading stuff you've got?
I've loaded everything. There's a culling distance in there. It's still running bad.
Can you not adjust any of those to make it? Because it's all building, so it would be anything that you can't. Because there's buildings surrounding you most of the game.
Yeah.
So can you just unload everything that isn't behind the building?
No, but I've already done that. Like, whatever you can't see, there's nothing.
Got it. Sorry.
Yeah, so
cool.
It's just I need to look into it.
Probably still not have polys that are being used, probably.
I'm a little bit worried about how that's going to work with the textures as well.
Yeah.
It's already lagging now when I had the trim sheets and the time tails and
You might just need to have a.
folders.
Should the building assets be like reworked to be like less polys?
Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah. There is a little. There are a couple of models where I look at, and a few things can be normal maps. So what I'll do is I'll go through them with you.
You turn about the windows.
Like do you know the most recent apartment building you gave me? Like there's like little lines in there.
Oh yeah,
Like it
like
could just be a normal map.
Yeah.
Do you know? So like it's just little things like that, but for the most part, like we just need to have a look at it and find a way to kind of optimise it, because for now it's alright, but when you start putting the textures in and more assets, especially with all the foliage and ivy, it's gonna get a bit mad.
Cool.
Maybe like more. I presume that you might have already like checked through, but like I'd double check for any like overlapping verts as well, so everything will.
I would have noticed if that was the case. If it's a flat plane, so if there's anything that is overlapping, I would have noticed it in 3ds Max before I passed it on to him.
Yeah.
Because it would have literally just been like a black shade and it'd be like constantly flickering. Like all the buildings are like, just because they're flat planes, for it to be overlapped, you need to put 2 planes over each other. So
I think James wants to say. James wants to say something.
You've got the basic blockades of the cars, haven't you? How many polys are on there?
Oh, that's actually a shout.
that's a good shout actually.
I'll have a look at them.
Good job.
But with those as well, they're loddies as well, and they're not even their full model, even when they're in the game. They're on like Lod 2 or something like that, which is like I just don't know what it is. Like I'm just gonna have to have a look.
Could take some things out and see what.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea to take some things out.
There probably won't be a lot of buildings anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll just have to have a look, see what we can do.
Cool.
Okay.
Alright.
We all good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. Thanks for watching.
Follow the Instagram.
Follow it.
No.